Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we're going to be reviewing some of the gameplay that you guys sent in. I'm excited to jump into it, break it down, see what you guys did well, maybe see what you guys could have done a little bit better. If you guys want to send me in some gameplay, my email is on the website. Go and check it out. But before we jump into the footage, I want to say thank you to Whoop for sponsoring today's video. If you guys don't know what Whoop is yet, it's the wristband that I'm wearing around my wrist. It tracks my sleep, my training, my HRV, all within an app here on my phone. All right, so today actually happens to be a 98% recovery day, which, funny enough, on the day I'm recording this video is like my best recovery ever. I have 148 HRV. I slept for 9 hours. Kind of embarrassing. 9 hours and 8 minutes. All right, little embarrassing there, but I have a day strain score, calories burned, HRV, which is heart rate variability, telling me if I should go ham today or take a kind of more of a rest day, and my recovery and my sleep. Everything is clickable with breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are interested in Whoop, the wristband or any of that, the link is down below if you guys want to learn more. Thank you to Whoop for sponsoring this video, and we also have a 15% off coupon if you guys want to use it. But let's hop into it. It is time, all right? It is time to look at some games. More from TM Beanbag, Shikafel, and Xaryu. Alright, Dalaran Sewers against Destruction Warlock, Holy Paladin, Balanced Druid. Let's press play here. Alright, let's see. Is he playing with the G-Pie or the Short Combust this game? It looks as if, actually, we'll find out here in a second. Looks as if, okay, yep, G-Pie on number 3. Let's go. So they're doing a quick opener here. Sapping the Pally and immediately kidney onto the Destrolock. Now, normally I would say don't do this, because it's a lot better value to sap the third guy and then cheap shot the Pally into a Poly and then mark for that kidney the Destruction Warlock, or Garrote kidney the Destruction Warlock, right? You're just going to get more value, more bang out of your buck from that CC, right? So if we like rewind to here, we get the sap. By the time the kidney comes off and you're starting to do damage, the sap's like halfway over and the guy's still full life. Now, if you do the other opener, a lot of times it's better, but I think in this specific case, it's okay. In fact, against Destruction Warlocks, I actually kind of like doing openers like this because it's so difficult to land that Poly sometimes. Plus, the Balanced Druid was in stealth. So I actually don't mind this opener. We got the full sap on the Pally. We got the full kidney on the Destruction Warlock. You're doing a lot of damage. Now, here's the question. Are we going to be using Combust? Are we going to be using Claw? I'm not sure where his Claw is at on the action bar. I think he has Claw. Are we going to be using Combust? Are we going to be using Claw? Are we going to be using Breath? What cooldowns are we going to commit here in the opener to force defensives from the enemy so that we can actually effectively trade? All right, and I don't see where his Claw is on the user interface. Maybe I'm missing it, but if he's not using Claw, word of advice, get some Claw. Actually, here it is. Control 1. So he uses Claw, does not use Combust. So using Claw, not using Combust is actually a great opener. I really, really like that. And using Reaping. So that's what I actually do a lot myself, is use Meteor, Reaping, and Claw, and then hold the Combustion for a bigger go. So I like this opener. We use the Smoke Bomb. Warlock's in trouble. He's low. Pretty much everything's good here. What I would keep in mind is this Balanced Druid is almost certainly going to be casting Cyclone soon, so using the counterspell. I would also have gone for a Sheep off of this sap, or have the Paladin running for a Hajj after the sap. We need to continue the CC chain to force more defensive cooldowns from the opener. So far, this is a perfect opener, but if say we get a Resheep onto the Pally, we get a Hammer of Justice onto the Pally, we're going to force Trinket, we're going to force Sack, we're going to force Bubble, or else this Warlock just dies. Or maybe he does just die. I haven't watched this video clip yet. But if we follow the CC chain, it's going to be really, really good here. So, Hammer of Justice. Okay, this game is literally perfect so far. I'm proud of how you guys are playing this. This is good. We need to keep an eye on that Cyclone from the Druid cast bar. Okay, he might be going for that Cyclone soon, going for a half Sheep off the Hammer of Justice, hopefully. Looks like you're going for it. You try to fate cast the Spell Lock, and you do manage to get it, and the Pally Trinket sacks. Cyclone's coming out, just like we said it would. At this point, though, you could choose to counterspell or not counterspell it because you already got the sack. The go's over, right? The Warlock's going to be fine because assuming it's his ultimate sack, it's going to break the Poly from the Pally. The Pally's going to pop wings. The Warlock goes back to full. Here's where you don't commit any more cooldowns. You already got what you wanted. You got the Warlock nice and low. I'm not sure if you forced his wall or not, but you got the Warlock nice and low. You got the Trinket sack from the Pally. And you survive the opener. So from here, you guys should all just kind of run away to this box right here. Chill. Hang out. All right. crack open a sparkling water, just relax, okay? Next go, triple CC, burst them down again, and force out bubble. Third go from there, you win, all right? So let's see what happens. You get counterspelled on fire. You could have counterspelled the druid, but I think saving it at this point is fine. And running to the pillar where your pally's at probably would have made it so you didn't take all this damage. Blinking into the warlock is maybe not the play, and using the Ring of Frost is sketchy because the pally can run into the ring. If this pally was smart, he'd run himself into the ring to DR himself a little bit longer on that polymorph diminishing returns. Let's see if he does it. He doesn't look. Oh, okay. All right, so this is the first big mistake. Up to this point, the game's looking pretty solid, looking pretty good. You have a full sheep coming up in 8 seconds here on the pally. All right. Ideally, we just, like I said, we play back on the pillar till the DR, and then we run back out. But hey, running back out, it's not like you died anyway. It's fine. You pop temp shield, whatever. The full sheep comes off in 6 seconds, and we go for a resheep. So instead of waiting 5 more seconds to get a full sheep, you sheeped now and got a 1 second poly. That is going to set you guys behind, right? To be fair, you got the kidney onto the warlock, and you still forced trinket and wall. All right, this was just a bad trinket wall from the warlock. He would have been fine because his pally wasn't in CC, but hey, it doesn't matter. You guys still got the trinket wall from the warlock. You got the trinket stack from the pally. The only defensive cooldown they have left is bubble. So you guys are still in a great position to win this game. In fact, I think you probably will win this game if you get one more kidney shot. This warlock squishy, you guys are doing a ton of damage. And that was your combust as well. So ideally, if you got that full, if you waited 5 more seconds, you would have gotten bubble here from the pally. To be fair though, you still got the wall, you still got the trinket. Pally has bubble, he has his big heal, but if you get a lockout, I mean, you could just take out the warlock down right now too. So let's see what ends up happening. Full blind, and you force the bubble. Cool. Now they have nothing left. No defensive cooldowns left. In one more go, you should win this game, assuming the pally does manage to heal up the warlock with that bubble, which he probably should be able to. One more go, you guys win this game. Once again, just don't die. Run to the pillar if you need to. You could farm back another combust if you were playing short combust. And that's probably what I'd recommend. There's no time for GPI in this matchup, really. You're getting kind of owned here with the Chaos Bolts out in the open, so I'd run to the pillar. Great job, you do that. The sack comes out as well, so you're probably fine. So right here, I would play short combust, and I would just spam fireballs onto the pets and get another combust ready. Within like 30 seconds, you can farm another combust, right? Just fireball, 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 ping the pets. And then you're going to have that sheep DR coming back. You're going to have that kidney coming back. Kidney, sheep, boom, game's over, right? Warlock still has counterspell up, so you want to be wary of that. But I honestly think if you guys do one more clean go, there's the Repentance being casted. You don't have counterspell, it doesn't look like, so we're just gonna be hanging out for a little bit longer, and that's fine. Casting the pies, that's good. I'll chill. The coils are coming out. It's good to go here as well. Like once again, like there's no rush to win this game. You guys have like a minute to get one go. The only thing that will stop the go is the druid, because these guys have no trinkets. The druid could trinket beam. The druid could cast a cyclone if we don't counterspell. So what I would do is save counterspell to counterspell the druid when he tries to peel or when he tries to cyclone on the go. All right. You full sheep the pally after getting the counterspell out of the way. It's already out of the way. So you just run up, full sheep the pally. They can't really stop it. If he beams you, you just wait till after the beam. You get the full sheep on the pally. You then kidney the lock. You counterspell the druid, or you can even hammer of justice the druid, and the game's over. So let's see what happens. You can also hammer justice pally like you did there. There's a hammer of justice on the pally. Tons of damage coming down to the lock. There's the kidney coming down to the lock. You're getting low as well. You didn't get procs. So I guess it's okay. Once again, Warlock's at like 10% life. We didn't even go for the sheep. He's at 10% life. You might just die without the sheep, which is like insane. You run up. Yeah, he just dies. Okay, so this game wasn't perfect, but you guys just drilled that Warlock. Literally just ran that Warlock over. So I will absolutely take it. One mess up, one slight hiccup on the sheep on the paladin on that DR a little bit too soon would have been the biggest mistake of the game. Here afterwards, to secure the kill, you could have just gone for the sheep after the Hajj. The only way for them to stop that would have been the beam. So you could have like Dragon's Breath Druid into a sheep on the pally, but hey, Warlock went down anyway. It was a good game overall. The opener was like perfect. I love the opener. You held the combustion. You just did Meteor, Reaping Claw. And the second go, you then combusted. So you had like 2 strong goes back to back. And then you guys win in that third go. So yeah, GG all around there. All right, so we're hopping into this next game. And we have Destruction Warlock, Restoration Shaman, and Shadow Priest here in the Grand Arena. Let's see what this one's looking like. All right, press and play in 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kill the Warlock is the strat. I like the strat. You just type the strat. Dude, just kill the Warlock, man. Like, that's all you got to do. You just got to kill the lock. All right, so there's no way you guys lose this game. Strategy is clean cut. All right, kill the Warlock. I like it. I like what I see. All right, so the cheap shot comes out on the Shaman. I'm assuming he couldn't sap because the pet was combat from the Pally. He goes for the cheap shot. You should be going for a polymorph off of that cheap shot. Let's see if you go for it. You do not go for it. So we should get a blind there on the Shaman then instead. That's fine. Here's the thing in the opener. In the opener's RMP, you want to land a poly, a sap, or a blind, or like you need the healer CC'd. So I like that. You didn't get the poly, he goes for the blind. The blind is probably a little bit late, right? It could have been right after the cheap shot. Okay, so cheap shot into the blind, no gap. The gap allowed the Shaman to heal the Warlock just a little bit. A little bit of healing negated probably a lot of the damage and a lot of the potential cooldowns you could have forced. But you do get Trinket from the Shaman anyway, so that's fine. Cap Totem's coming out. Watch it. Nice blink. You get sheared there. That's totally fine. We're hanging out. Once again, I don't like to play GPI in the casters. I don't like to play GPI much at all as RM Pal, in fact. I would like to play short combust, do a big go, sit on the pillar, farm a combustion back, and then do another combust, right? But hey, that's how I like to play. All right. Actually, this is our channel. So yeah, that's what you gotta do, baby. All right, so casting Greater Fire Blast out in the open. Warlock could take it. He I think has Reflect available. I think with your UI, these are the cooldowns. So it looks like he has Reflect still available. Chaos Bolt's coming. This right here, guys. This right here is why I like to play short combust. If you try to 1v1 a lockout in the open as a mage, look what's gonna happen. Warlock's full life, mage is 70%, you're casting a GPI. GPI went off, mage is 10%. One GPI, the mage went from 70% to 10%. You can't, that's just, yeah. You, as a mage, you want to line a sight versus warlocks because warlocks are the superior caster, all right? Mages have to run from the lock. But if you sit on the pillar, farm a combust off the pet, you're not in the open, you're not dying. That's a feels good, man. So that's just a little tip there. Don't play GPI. In fact, I never really play GPI anymore. Only short combust into a lot of these wizards at least. Big sheep out onto the Shaman. You got to rebuff Arcane Intellect because it got purged. Counterspell, probably want to be looking at the counterspell on the Priest because he's going to master spell that poly. I'm guessing at least. He's not going to. Let's see if we get a resheep. Nothing. No kidney shot. We force out the link anyway, though. The blind comes out. Kind of wasted blind, but hey, you got the link. So he has no trinket, no link. The Shaman has no trinket, no link. We never press kidney on the go, which kind of sucks, right? Normally, you want a sheep and then kidney. Sheep and then kidney. Over and over. If you get the sheep, kidney, we're feeling good, looking good. All right? And ideally, that Shadow Priest should be CC too, because he's gonna not make the go very fun with things like Disarm, or Psychic Horror. I call it Disarm. Psychic Horror, Silence, Mind Control, Master Spell, right? So you need to lock down the Shadow Priest if you're going Warlock here with CC and the Shaman as well. Could be a Dragon's Breath, could be a Sheep, could be a Ring of Frost, could be a Hammer of Justice, could be a Counterspell. It's got to be something, though. Once again, casting Sheep Eye in the open against the lock is a no-go. This is not looking good. All right, trust me, I've tried this. You got that Siphon, gotta kill the Siphon, gotta kill the Siphon. That Siphon just ripping through. You go for the line of sight, still channeling through the pillar, though. Vampiric Touch is coming out. Little scary here for TM Beanbag, not gonna lie. Rogue Souls, Cloak of Shadows. Zowie's looking like he's gonna be just fine here. Trinket comes out from the Warlock. All right, you gotta rebuff Arcane Intellect still, my man. If you rebuff Arcane Intellect, you're doing 10% more spell power, all right? Super, super poggers. Get the full sheep on the Shaman, but the kidney was already DR'd, so the Shaman doesn't really, like, you don't really get anything here. Earthen Totem's already down, so yeah, this guy's gonna be just fine. So you really gotta coordinate the sheeps and the kidneys if possible. It doesn't happen that way all the time, but hey, that's the best case scenario. Got that coil on you, I'd probably decurse yourself, line on the pillar till this next go. This is great. So you have a go here where if you get, like, say, a sheep onto the Priest, a Hammer of Justice into a Ring of Frost onto the Shaman, do you have Ring of Frost up? It looks like you do. So Sheep Priest, Ring Shaman, Kidney Lock, game's over, right? If you guys do one insane perfect go, you could 100-0 this Warlock in a kidney shot. All right, but it would have to be perfect, right? You'd have to CC Priest so we couldn't live swap, CC Shaman so we couldn't, heal, and kill him like 100-0 in the kidney. Maybe have a G-Pie in the air as that's happening, right? A lot of stuff would have to happen. Your Warlock, or your Rogue's getting low from the Warlock. The Cloak of Shadows comes out from your Rogue. Looks like you might be fine. Healing Wave's coming now. It looks like the Lock's getting top. Just the Mind Control. It's fine. You're on DR for the go, so I'd actually say it's a good Mind Control. Here's what I would do, man. Here's what I would do. You have the Combust up in 11 seconds. You guys have to do one perfect triple cross CC and go for the kill here. The Shaman has Trinket back up, so I would blind. Shaman's going to Trinket blind if you blind him. His Warlock's half HP, so you blind the Shaman, you Trinkets, and you shoot the Priest, and you try to Hammer of Justice into Ring of Frost on the Shaman, and then the game's over with Combust in 5 seconds, right? You just have to live till next Kidney Shot. Once again, though, it would have to be perfect situation for that to happen. The Meteor comes down, so you don't want a Meteor unless A, the guy's in a stun, and B, the Shaman's in CC, right? If the Shaman's not in CC, he's just going to heal through the Meteor. Meteor's like a big burst cooldown, and then if the Warlock's not in a stun, a lot of times he'll just run out of it. So yeah, and also with Meteor, the Shaman, if you sheep the Shaman now or blind the Shaman, the Meteor's just gonna break it. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. Only Meteor in stuns with CC. Hex is coming out on your Pally. You can dispel that Hex, but it's short anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. I would say honestly, one of the easiest, biggest mistakes of this game that you could do better is just rebuff Arcane Intellect, right? Not having this Arcane Intellect up for this long, your Pally ends up dying there. I'll rewind that to see what happened, but not having Arcane Intellect up for this long hurt you, but it also hurt your Pally, right? It's just kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal to not have that 10% spell power. But yeah, I think this game could have been over if we talked about that win condition, right? Blinding to get the Shaman's Trinket, triple CC, burst with Combust. You guys probably would have won there. But let's see what happens to your Pally. Shadow Fury coming out. Your Pally's like half HP, so your Pally gets your Pally's at 90%. Infernals come out, a little sketchy. Hex comes out. Destruction Warlock's Kidney, Vampiric Touch, Silence coming out on your Pally, into a Shadow Fury, into a Chaos Bolt, and it's a big bolt because of Infernals, and he goes down. Let's see, did you have Counterspell available for this bolt? You had Counterspell up in 3, 2. No, you didn't have Counterspell. You didn't have Dragon's Breath. If your Rogue had Kick, your Rogue did have Kick, so it could have been a Kick unless that was Aura Mastery, which is hard to tell with this UI if there was an Aura cast. If your Rogue kicked that, your Pally might have been fine. But regardless, I think the takeaway from this game, using the Arcane Intellect, right, using give that extra 10% spell power, keep the win condition in mind. So getting that triple CC and just getting that burst is how you're going to actually take this game. And that third thing is probably just not playing G-Pie. Against Destrolocks, definitely don't play G-Pie. Against the other stuff, if you want to play it, whatever. But against Destros, playing short Combust, sitting on the pillar, farming a Combust, doing a big go, going back to the pillar, farm another Combust, do another big go is definitely an advantageous play style for you. And with the G-Pies, as we saw, every time you're in the open, you're just getting owned. Also, your Pally might have just had bubble too at the end, which, yeah. So, I mean, your Pally decided that bubble too, which happens, but I think overall, for the game plan, that would have made the game just a little bit better. Guys, I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I hope you guys can learn from this. If you guys learn from this and you want to see more of the content, leave a comment down below, all right, talking about what you guys want to see in the future. If you guys like these type of breakdowns, if you guys want to send me in some of your own gameplay, if you go to my website, scroll to the bottom, there's a contact little page there, go for it. And thank you again to Whoop for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to check out Whoop, we have that 15% coupon, which only lasts, I think, a couple more weeks or something like that, so you should definitely check it out. Link for the Whoop is down below. And yeah, besides that, have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.